G'day, movers and shakers. Back when I started the hardest rubbish rig, started off with, well, as usual, just scrap. Everything's scrap. Have a look at my past videos if you're new to the channel, and welcome. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and all that like shit that people talk about. I don't even know if it matters anymore. And look, I just want more subscribers so I can do better shit. But essentially, I use scrap. I use stuff. You can see there's a base of an old couch you'd sit on like that, legs over that way, that I've turned around so that the wheels over this. Now, look, I'm doing the same hand gesture. That was that bar there. But the office chair, which I pulled apart, which was a two-piece office chair. You can see the same hand gestures again. Using I ripped all the upholstery off, all the stuff off, and put my own on. Added bits, made it more solid, so that I get the shape I wanted. And there was plenty of layers after that to get the right proportions I needed. Ended up putting a steel cage on the back. That steel cage and a spot for a speaker. And then there's more cushioning that I've ended up putting in, a lot more support. A lot of layers goes into it. So the reason I'm making this one is because I'm about to do the last layer. And I'm just going to quickly go and get my sneakers as an example. My Travis Scott Cactus Jack Jordans. Got to get the infrareds back, but these are the on with the dope stash pocket. But you see how Nike are real good at getting, say, good suede. This green race suede that I skateboard in. People think I'm mad skating in such an expensive shoe. But I think, it's like a nana getting like a couch and then putting plastic on it, and telling you not to sit on it. It's like, what's the fucking point? But the aim is to get a really nice join between the fabric, in fake suede, and the rubber that I end up spraying over this whole back to meet up like that. So, like I said, a lot of work goes into making something like this, but it's built on a subwoofer, active subwoofer with the resonance channels that go up the back into that steel bar via springs, all sorts of shit. Cavities, it's got a spot for I can put a transducer, would that be a thing? Boom, 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 vibration. So I'm ready now, finally ready. So I thought I'd show you this last step, what I'm going to do, and the way I do it, go about it. I'm doing one at the moment for Anthony Fraser. Check his channel out, Fredo. We got a seat, but I make an office chair and I filled in all the gaps with upholstery. We're now to one piece. It's not as easy as you think, because if you make fabrics too taut, they're going to tear. If you make them with not enough give also, they'll blister or pull off the supporting upholstery. So there's a lot of layers goes into it where I've allowed certain flexibility, like a football almost. See here, it's got like certain spots. Even though it's flat and the stuff will go over it, there's certain places where it's allowed to play, where I've built inside it will be like, the surface of my hand was a fabric. When you sit on it, it'd tear, or blister if you didn't move properly. So I'll allow the underneath to open up like that. There's spots, so it's actually V underneath it. But what you do is, for the last step, I'll get some really, and Fredo, if you see this video and hang on till the end and you see this, I forgot to tell you to get double-sided tape. But that's the trick for this last bit. It's really important. I've done so many of these things. I've figured out how you only get one crack at putting it on. You don't want to make a mess and shit. So what I do is I get good double-sided tape, Gorilla double-sided tape here, right? For two reasons. One, when it's all stuck down, it'll be stuck down, glued down, and then there'll be these lines where it's not glued down, but it's stuck down with this Gorilla tape, and it allows those seams I was talking about, these special flex places where it's stuck but it's flexible, with glue all on the sections around it. So I'll spray the prick out of it, absolutely going pretty nuts with it, right? And as it's tacking up, right, gives me, I have my nitrile gloves on because I don't want to make a mess with this glue and do the upholstery. right? But what I'll do is I'll quickly then go off and I'll tear all the white stuff off, and then I'll get my fabric, which I've chalked, so I know the lines, and I'll lay the fabric down. And what it does is, not only does it give it something to initially already dry and to stick to as the glue dries, but what it also does is it stops the glues from flowing away from certain places, but it should be tacky, that glue. So when I put the fabric on, I can pull it over the edges and it'll stick to the edges where it's not actually adhesed, right? And it gives me somewhere where it's stuck all down to push into these gaps without it pulling off the edges, right? So it's a real nice trick to do. And then I just put one cut in the fabric so it joins up, and then I'll lay, my faux suede, fake whatever, I don't know how to say it, fake suede, as a final layer. And as I'm lay it down onto it right now, to be catching on that tape before this glue's getting fully tacky, as in about to dry. And that way I can go run it down, get to the bottom. I can make sure it's all smooth as one piece of cloth, of one piece of material. None of this bullshit sewing and where I want to look full race, right? So and then what'll happen is when I get to these sort of parts, and I'm going to push it in here, and other ones to pull from here or pull from here. So what I'll do is I've allowed that tape there, so now I can push it into where I want it, and then I can go boom and stick it onto the tape like that, and then I can massage it in. And last thing, see, I put a little cut in there, so that's all one piece. The last thing I do is once I've smoothed it all, well not last thing, sorry. Next thing I'll do is once I've smoothed it all on, always changing gloves all the time, nitrile gloves. Really important thing I've found, and I've made this so many times, right, is getting glue on this stuff on the outside. You get glue remover, but if that glue's glue, if you haven't put enough on and it dries too quick, bad. But if it's too wet, it's a good time to take this. It's the right amount of time for that to get tacky but not wet. If it's wet and I start massaging this is fake suede as well underneath it, right? If I started massaging that, it'll bleed through. You get this wet patch, and then it'll end up like this is deliberate. This doesn't matter. But this is hard and sort of shitty. It's allowed to be like a boxing glove. It's all built so that there's spots in it. But what I'm getting at is if you don't let it go tacky, and you put this stuff on, it'll bleed through. It'll be a wet patch, and it'll dry, and it's not pretty. You want to keep this like I said, like this is not a good example, but nice pair of Jordans where the suede meets with the plastic beautifully. In this case, like styrene probably something. Glow in the dark, sick. But that's what I'm doing. So I thought I'd show you this last step, which I found pretty important, is just double-sided tape. Make sure things stay good. Oh my god, look at the junk I make, isn't it great? That's a Boss Hub that actually works. And I just melted plastic. So there you go. Want to see more? Like, subscribe, you know the drill. If you've watched till here, thank you, appreciate it. Get Ducks Guts Racing channel happening soon. The name I pinched a long time ago. Done nothing on that channel. It's going to be pro stuff. What do you think?